Last week, Ryan was here and we were talking about the personal debt crisis that a lot of Canadians are facing. Well, today we're going to talk about whether you have good financial status or whether you don't. Maybe you have what Brian calls the Kraft Dinner Flambe syndrome. Are we going to be cooking today or?
No, but well, you know what? I look at people's budgets and I look at how much money they have left over after everything. And I coined this phrase, Kraft Dinner Flambe syndrome, because there's some people that don't realize it, but it's probably the only thing that they can afford. They're not going to be out there buying steak. They're going to be a steady diet and figure out different ways to cook Kraft Dinner. So here's how people can really analyze, take a really good close look at their own finances and see whether they're in trouble, whether they're in good shape.
Okay.
What I normally suggest, they get a little notebook, and for the next month they keep track of everything they spend during the day. Timmy's, whatever it is, you put it in the notebook. At the end of the month you get your bank statement and you get all your credit card statements and you look at what you've spent. Then you take a look at your income and see whether you have any money left at the end of the month. And that money should be going towards savings or RESPs or vacations or whatever. There should be some room in that budget. And if there isn't any room in the budget, they could be in Kraft Dinner Flambe syndrome territory. Now, if they really want to take that analysis one step further, then what they should be doing is doing a little analysis that I use again, and the lenders use this analysis. They look at 32% of gross income for principal, interest, taxes, heat, 40% of gross income for principal, interest, taxes, heat to determine if somebody can qualify for a mortgage.
Okay.
That 40% figure is about 52 to 56% of somebody's net income. So it's very, very, very thin. So I use a different parameter, and there's different variations of that percentage that I think are very comfortable for people. So here's the final step that people can do.
Okay.
They can take their mortgage, their principal, their interest, their taxes, their heat, total up all the outside debt, lease payments, car payments, credit card payments, all the rest of it, multiply that by 12 and divide it by their gross income. And I'm going to give you those parameters that I use for somebody being comfortable. So if you're at 25 to 30% of your gross income, you're probably all right. You're doing pretty well.
Okay.
If you're at 30 to 35%, it's a little higher, but you're still doing. If you're at 35 to 40, you're near that threshold of 40%. And if you're at 40%, then congratulations, you're on a new diet. We need to talk.
Yeah, so you want us to have something left over at the end of the day. You want us to take some personal inventory.
Absolutely, absolutely. You have to, in today's credit society, you have to know where your money's going and what you've got left. And if you don't have any wiggle room, it's like that statistic we talked about last week. Most people do not have that amount of money sitting in their bank account for emergencies. So part and parcel of doing a mortgage is our looking at that person's lifestyle and in fact whether they're going to be comfortable owning a home or not. And that's the key. It's mortgage planning.
Although, you know, Kraft Dinner once a week, not too bad.
Not too bad, but not as a steady diet, not 15 different ways, and not 7 days a week. So yeah, the sizzle, the steak in your budget, you got to have room for it.